purpose of this demo is to show how to integrate Fortify on Demand with Value Edge through bug tracking. Within Fortify on Demand, we'll navigate to an application that we want to connect to Value Edge. At the application level within Fortify on Demand, we'll click the Settings icon on the left-hand navigation menu. We'll then come into Bug Tracker. We'll slide it from No to Yes to enable the bug integration. From the Bug Tracker drop-down menu, we'll select Value Edge /ALM Octane. Here we'll provide the URL as well as credentials for authentication. Now we'll click Authenticate. Now we've confirmed Fortify on Demand can connect to Value Edge. From here you'll want to select a project as well as a workspace. This will ensure that bugs submitted from this application in FOD will go to the appropriate location in Value Edge. We'll then click Enable Bug State Management if you're using Jira or Azure DevOps. Enabling bug state management allows the developer status to be synced to those specific bug tracking tools, Azure DevOps and Jira. We'll then click Save. Now our changes are saved with the application. Next, what we'll do, we'll go into a release. From here, we'll go and look at the issues. We'll select an issue that we want to audit and review. From here, we'll be able to get information on the vulnerability, including a summary of what this vulnerability is, recommendations on how to fix the vulnerability, and for dynamic applications, you'll see the HTTP request, response, headers, and parameters. For a static vulnerability, you'll also see the summary of the vulnerability, recommendations. What is different in static vulnerability is that you'll see the actual source code of that vulnerability. In this case, we have an issue where we have a hard-coded password. So now what we want to do is, in order to track this vulnerability within Value Edge, we'll want to come down in the audit section and click Submit Bug. Here we'll have a form that is pre-filled where we can make sure it's going to the correct workspace as well as the release. Here will be the subject of the vulnerability. By default, it will say FOD security vulnerability and the name of the issue or issues. And here we'll get a quick description of the vulnerability and a hard link back to this specific issue in Fortify on Demand. Within Value Edge, you can set the severity of this vulnerability. In this case, I'll say urgent. And then you'll click Submit. And you can do the same thing with multiple vulnerabilities. I'm going to change my grouping back to category. And I'll select a full category of issues that have been reviewed and are ready to be submitted as bugs. And here on the bug form, we can see in the subject, it has multiple IDs. These will be the issue IDs from Fortify on Demand. And then in the description, we'll see that we have 4 issues in this category, and then we'll have a hard link back to each issue in Fortify on Demand. And once again, we'll have the ability to change the severity within Value Edge. And we'll click Submit Bug. To see the bugs that have been submitted within Fortify on Demand, you can change the grouping to Bugs Submitted. And we can see which ones that have been submitted by expanding the true grouping. And here we can click on an individual vulnerability and we can click View Bug. Here, this will take us to the defect now in Value Edge. We can see the information that was passed from FOD. We can see that it is within the backlog release that we've configured for the application in FOD. And we can see the category and origin are set. The category is set to security and the origin is set to Fortify. So this will be helpful for being able to distinguish which defects have been sent from Fortify. If we go back to the full list of defects, we can see that the defects / bugs that I submitted from Fortify on demand are now in this list of defects. We can use the filter to identify which defects are from Fortify. In this case, I'm using the origin field. That brings us to the end of this demo. Hopefully you know how to configure Fortify on demand in order to submit bugs that will become defects within ValueEdge. Thank you, and take care.